Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. So we have officially finished Karma's route and we are now on Rumpel. Rumpel apparently is the second choice here, so we're gonna go with Rumpel. I did delete some of the slots here. I should probably delete like majority of these slots. But I did delete all the slots in the first page and I went through the routes. We have a fast forward button now, so we don't have to deal with all the dialogue. But certain choices, you do get a little closeness with the characters, like Rod's route. Rod's choice. It was either to talk to him or to just do like the dot dot dot. And if you choose the dot dot dot, Rod's like, "Oh, now you want me to pity you," and it's not gonna work. And then he got a little glimmer, and then here we also got a glimmer for Rumpel. If we want to throw the tray at him is when we get the little glitter thing. So I believe I have the glitter thing for both Rod and Rumpel right now, but we're gonna go through Rumpel's route. So let's do that. Let's hope Rumpel can beat Karma, because Karma was quite sweet. He was not the type of guy I was gonna go for, but. And then my heart fell for him, so I suppose I can ask Rumpel. Enough girls seem to like him, so he might have some sound advice. And I'm sorry if you guys hear the fan in the background. It's very hot in here, so I had to turn on the fan. I find Rumpel in between his orders and pull him aside. He looks oddly relieved. Ah, princess, you saved me. Saved you? From a hideous overload of work. I'm pretty sure Rumpel does less around here than me. At least I finished work I'm given. Unlike Rumpel, who gets distracted by every single thing. Dear Michiko, if you've called me here, then you must want to confess something to me. What? Perhaps you'll confess your undying love for me. I scowl at him and cross my arms. I came to ask you for advice, but perhaps I'll go ask someone else. You came to ask my advice? Rumpel stares at me, clearly shocked. I guess it is because out of all the people I would ask, he probably seems the least likely. Then I will assist, my sweet princess. What kind of advice are you looking for? Perhaps you'd like to learn how to make a man swoon, or how to stroke the embers of the heart. Is flirting the only thing that that is ever on his mind? I came because I want you to teach me about goodness. Goodness? But my sweet, all of the advice that I had just suggested will teach you just that. Being romantic will not teach me how to do good. Rumpel dramatically places his hand over his heart. But being romantic is good? Don't you see the smiles on the lovely ladies' faces when I speak with them? I cannot imagine why they smile like that. Rumpel's persistence is annoying. To be romantic and loving, that is the epitome. Epitome? Oh gosh, I used to know how to read this word, I'm so sorry. Of goodness. Show someone affection and they will return it twofold. I can only stare at Rumpel as I wonder why I even decided to ask him. Or you could just be kind. Everyone is kind in their own way, princess. So what do you say? Perhaps you would like to practice on me. I'm sure your smile would brighten up my week. No, I'm certain of it. I have work. I quickly turn and leave before Rumpel can continue. If I had to be romantic to earn a good deed, I'd rather be cursed like this forever. Oh, okay. Well, let's fast forward, because we can do that. We're gonna go to Rumpel again. I find Rumpel taking a break at one of the tables. Surprisingly, he is by himself, and not surrounded by the usual blushing ladies. You're not surrounded by a flock of ladies. You must have done something to offend them. Rumpel looks at me, the surprise apparent on his face. Princess, have you come to mend my broken heart? Excuse me? I was speaking with the lady here only hours ago when she told me that she was betrothed to someone else. That happened hours ago and you're still sitting here? Rumpel places his chin on the palm of his hand, looking very tired. In mourning! The heart is a fragile thing, princess. Won't you help heal my shattered heart? Rumpel stares at me when I do not answer. That would count as a good deed, you know. Helping you would count as a good deed. Doing things out of the kindness of your heart is a good deed, princess. The kindness of my heart? Why would I want to help you when you've done nothing for me? Kindness isn't a thing that needs to be necessarily be returned, princess. Single instances of affection can make a heart lighter. Why does he always go through the trouble of making his words sound so much fancier? I will not help help you mend your broken heart, because that would be an act of stupidity, not kindness. Rumpel's shoulders slump as he frowns. Now my heart is even more fragmented. To suffer from a broken heart every day, you are rejected. Oh, wow, I'm so savage. Of course, because to pour your heart out to someone only to be rejected is a cruel fate, princess. You probably deserve rejection. What with the way you flirt with everyone. So, no, I am not going to help you. Deal with your own broken heart. I turn around and walk away. The act Rumpel puts on are annoying. Sorry, I cannot read whatsoever. Okay. Fast forward to where did Karma? All these two are locked. We're doing Rumpel's route. Chapter 3, The Flatterer. Okay. Yay, Rumpel! We're doing Rumpel's route, right? It's officially Rumpel. I need to write this down. Rumpel's route. I hope I spelled his name right. I do not know why the first person that popped into my mind was Rumpel. Okay, I spelled it wrong. I did L-E. Rumpel. I can't spell his name. Damn. Rumpel route to help my editing future me. Just because he puts on a smile on ladies' faces with his flirting does not mean he can help me do a good deed. And yet, here I am. I find Rumpel on break, surrounded by a few giggling ladies. His hands make dramatic sweeping gestures as he showers them with compliments. And you, my sweet, are like the sunshine peeking through the clouds on a dark day. You litter the ground with so much golden light and make every flower reach out toward your warmth. On a second thought, maybe I should reconsider. Princess! Rumpel notices me, however, and immediately waves me over. Turn and walk away or walk towards him. Yes, we're Rumpel. Turn and walk away. Maybe, correct? I just remembered that I have something to do. I turn around and start walking away, but I immediately stopped when I feel Rumpel's hand on my shoulder. I slap his hand away. Fierce as always, you remind me of a rose with thorns, princess. He leans closer and winks at me. But the thorns are what make the rose so alluring. Are you always so persistent, or do you actually want me to slap you again? Your slapping me is but a small blockade in the road. I will never give up on you, princess. See, enjoy it when I purposely try to ignore him. The most brilliant, sparkling gems are buried deep within the ground and take much effort to unearth. What? Princess, you're like one of those gems. No, I'm not like a gem. Okay, we got it right. I was like, why is this so long? Rumpel, why would you deal with someone like her? What? Michiko is like a budding flower, and I want to do my best to help her bloom in whatever way that I can. See, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. That touches my heart very dearly. You've come to me for advice, right? How did he know? The look of shock on your face is adorable and so absolutely satisfying. It seems I hit the nail right on the head. Rumpel, she's obviously too stubborn to admit that she needs your help. These women are infuriating. Ooh, hello, kitty. Rumpel leans a little closer to me and suddenly he is whispering in my ear. Let me tell you something, princess. Making a person happy just to see them smile is definitely a good deed. Huh? Making someone feel important is never a disservice. What do you think? I'm pretty knowledgeable, aren't I? All he ever talks about is doting on people, flirting with them, and making them smile. Rumpel continues talking, which is why I will make an excellent partner. I take a step back. Rumpel is now looking at me with a triumphant smile. How did you... I am very perceptive. Perceptive, princess. You overheard my conversation with Parfait. Told me about it. She... did? Only briefly. So you're not perceptive at all. Princess, you cannot see it, but I am drowning in my own tears. He just assumed I was going to be partners with him, which is very annoying. I do not even know why I was considering partnering up with Rumpel when he says the same things over and over again. and I do not think I could be around him day in and out. Oh my, what do I spot here? Delora appears before us, a sly smile on her face. Slacking off, you two. I'm on a break. The break ended about 5 minutes ago, Rumpel. And Princess, I think there's a broom that needs attending. Fine. There's no use complaining, and I would rather get away from Rumpel. Rumpel turns to the ladies and smiles. My lovely ladies, I will be back later, and I promise that we will continue our conversation without any interruptions. Oh, and Princess? We'll continue our conversation later as well. What if I don't want to? I walk off before Rumpel can try to shower more of his compliments onto me. Making a person happy just to see them smile. Can such a thing really be considered a good deed? Yes. Yeah. The days at the tavern go by quickly over the next week. Princess? Princess? You've been staring off into space. I was just thinking... I just finished using Mr. Broom and now I am helping Anise sort some of the shelves in the back. Rumpel has taken up the serving for today. The women always enjoy him, but the men are always glaring at him. They are jealous of Rumpel, I think. Who? The other men. Anise looks over at the men that are glaring at Rumpel as he drifts between tables. I'm worried about Rumpel too. What are you talking about? You were looking at Rumpel with a funny expression on your face. No, I wasn't. My words are clipped and my voice is cold. Anise looks at me sadly, but I do not care. What I do is none of her business. I think the girls are jealous of you too. What? Excuse me? I glance around the tavern and notice that there are girls glowering at me. I'm not unaccustomed to these glares, since people have always looked at me this way. During the times I left the palace, people gave me the same looks, but this feels different somehow. Why would they be jealous? Because you're Rumpel's partner. I am not his partner. You're not? He's been telling everyone that you are. I never agreed to being partners with him. I felt your longing gaze upon my back, and I have arrived, my princess. Rumpel suddenly appears before the two of us, smiling brightly. I suddenly had the strong urge to slap the smile right off of his face. We're not partners. But princess, you asked for my advice that I gave to you because I care. No one else cares as much about you as I. And so I proclaimed us both partners because we are a match made in heaven. That's cute. You're so overwhelmed with gratitude that you're at a loss for words. If I could throw something at you, I would. A punch packed with as much strength as your love? I can only groan in response. Oh my. Hello everyone, it sounds like you're having fun. How is this fun? Rumpel is never fun. All he ever does is spout nonsense. He doesn't mean any harm, princess. He's just filled to the brim with so many compliments and he needs to get them off his chest. Well, he can go direct them at one of his many other adoring fans. I shift my gaze to Rumpel and furrow my eyebrows at him. Or do you only direct them at me because you enjoy how much I ignore you? I only want to help you, princess. That's what partners do, right? But we're not partners. Just try this partnership out, princess. I promise it will be worth your while. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, princess. You can always change partners. Lady Parfait, you've broken my heart. You're very good at healing your broken heart by now, Rumpel. Savagers everywhere. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. I only needed to speak with Denise to make sure that she doesn't need any help with a particular list. A list. A list of herbs for me. Anise has been nice enough to gather herbs for me. Lady Parfait, is this about your body? What's wrong with your body? It's nothing to concern yourself with, princess. My body is just a little frail because of the burden on it. That's right. Parfait mentioned having to bear the Crystallum Lucas? A thought occurs to me as I look at her more closely. Wait, couldn't you use magic to heal yourself? Parfait shakes her head and sighs. I don't have the ability to heal. None of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor? Is something wrong? Rumpel shakes his head and gives her a wistful smile. That name just sounds familiar. It's likely you heard about her from someone else before. Humans do know of her existence after all. A witch. She's not a fairy. For some reason I had a thought fairies would be more likely to heal people, not witches. She is indeed a witch, that is what they say. Though I have never met her myself. She's the only one who can heal illnesses with magic. She doesn't associate with other witches though, and keeps to herself. Nobody has known where to find her for a very long time. Suffice it to say, we could never seek out help from her, even if we wanted to. Parfait shakes her head. No, unfortunately not. Rumpel looks grim, but Parfait quickly dissipates the gloomy atmosphere with a clap of her hands. If Delora was here, she would say, "Alright, story time is over." That was all very interesting. Interesting, but it does not really help anyone. Your body is the way that it is because of the Great War then. Like I told you before, the Great War has made my body a lot weaker. This is something that cannot be healed, and I don't have an heir, so... Parfait looks about, ready to say something but goes silent. She has a sad look on her face, and I don't understand why. Denise immediately speaks up. I think I'll be okay, Lady Parfait. I was actually going to go on an errand run in a few minutes. Do you need any help? I would be more than happy to escort a lovely lady like yourself around town. Denise pulls a list out from a bag nearby and holds it out. There are only a few items on the list as far as I can see. Don't worry about it, Rumpel. It's not that much at all. Rumpel stares at the list. His expression suddenly smooths into something more serious. May I have that? Denise hands him the list and slowly he takes a pen out from his pocket. I stare as he looks over the list quietly and then scribbles some things down on the bottom. Afterwards, he hands it over to Denise. I've added some things that might be helpful. The herbs on the list are for joint pains, and you might want something a little more general. How does he know all that? Everyone is staring at Rumpel with wide eyes. Even Parfait looks impressed. You've used herbs before, Rumpel. Maybe. I don't remember, but for some reason names came to the top of my head as I was looking at the list. Thank you. It is always my pleasure to help a lovely lady. Now, Denise, please let me accompany you to town. I would love to help you with whatever I can, and more names might come to me. That sounds nice. Thank you, Rumpel. Rumpel turns to me, a mischievous smile on his face. Whenever he looks at me like that, I know he is going to suggest something ridiculous. Princess Michiko should accompany us for the experience. I do not need experience. How are you going to shower people with compliments if you know nothing about them? Being out in town will be good for you. Rumpel has a point. The more you expand your world, the more willing you are to learn about people. I do not need to be lectured. Oh, Princess, it wasn't meant to be a lecture. I'm just letting you know that experience is invaluable. Come on, Princess, let us escort the lovely Denise around town. What about your work? Rumpel puts a finger to my lips and grins. No one seems to have thought of that, so it will be our little secret. Oh my god, Rumpel has stolen my heart! I slap his hand away, but he just grins at me drooly. How did I get dragged into this? Please don't stay out too long. You won't. Off we go. Field trip! I make my way into town with Rumpel and Denise. The majority of the conversations we have are one-sided, with Rumpel giving us both the usual compliments. He never seems to tire of it. Rumpel helps Denise pick certain herbs and a few other medications, and accepts all of the compliments she gives him with a triumphant smile. I know Denise knows about herbs because she helped me before, but how does Rumpel know so much about them? This must be a part of the past that he doesn't remember. Denise enters the store by herself at one point, leaving me alone with Rumpel. I'm a mysterious man, aren't I? I turn to look at him and notice the easy smile adorning his face. A man with amnesia is full of secrets after all. I bet you're even more curious about me. Women are always with mysterious men. I do not particularly care. But Princess, if my curse is my amnesia, then shouldn't you care somehow? As partners, we're going to help each other out, right? I do not see how I can help you with your amnesia. Maybe this is a spell that is only broken by true love's kiss. Shall we see? He leans toward me with a playful smile on his face. I am accustomed to this behavior by now, so this does not faze me and I merely sigh at his nonsense. You already said yourself that you need to gather entries from some kind of journal? Princess, you're no fun. A little kiss wouldn't hurt anyone. I would die before I kiss you. Princess, that's so sad. He says that, but he is still smiling. Why is he so unfazed by everything I say to him? You only ever have a terrible You, you only ever have terrible suggestions. It was a mistake to trust you might have good advice. But I have great ideas. You haven't helped with my curse at all. I have been trying, though. You haven't even told me how to get a good deed. I told you before, Princess, compliments make a person happy, and making a person happy is a good deed. So, you flirting with women and using shallow compliments on them is a good deed? On the surface, the compliments may seem shallow, but if you swim a little deeper, complimenting people cannot be a good deed. But making them happy is. All you have to do is listen to people, sympathize with them, maybe get to know them, and you can make them happy by doing even small things for them. Women enjoy the compliments, Princess. Besides, how could I see such beauties and not compliment them? It would be a disservice. You give compliments to people you don't even care about? Princess. Rumpel's voice trails off as he stares past me. His smile falters for a few moments, and a look of confusion ripples his features. I turn to follow his gaze and see a small boy staring at us. He is shyly hiding behind some kind of notebook. There was that seriousness again. It was the same thing that happened when he added something to the list for parfait. Then suddenly the expression changes into Rumpel's usual bright smile. Hello there, would you like to come and speak with us, young sir? You don't remember me, sir. Oh, do I know you? I used to come to your clinic. You saved me before. The boy draws closer to us, still hiding shyly behind his notebook. Ah, I'm sorry, little sir. I'm afraid that my memories are a bit scrambled right now. I can't even remember my own name. Really? Where's Anise? Why is she taking so long? The last thing I want to hear is a conversation between Rumpel and some child. Is he going to shower this boy with compliments too? It's a shame that I can't remember a boy as bright as yourself. And there it is. I'm not that bright, sir. Not as bright as you, but I want to be. He holds up his notebook, which has a small name scribbled in the corner. The words, "My dreams," are written on the front cover in cursive letters. What's this? I want to be just like you when I grow up, so I started a book of dreams, just like my mom told me to. She said I could become a doctor too, so long as I tried my best. A doctor? Forgot that you were a doctor, sir. Rumpel? A doctor? The boy continues to hold out the book and finally, Rumpel takes it and flips it open to the front page. Rumpel is holding the book close to his face so I cannot see it. I rise to the tips of my toes and attempt to look over his shoulder. At first, Rumpel does not notice me as he stares at the page. Then, belatedly, he realizes I am there and lowers the book so that I can read too. I lean so close to him our shoulders brush. My eyes scan over the pages quickly. The handwriting is crude, barely readable actually, but I can still make out the gist of it. Rumpel slowly reads the words aloud. When I'm older, I want to be exactly like the kind doctor that saved me when I had no one else to go to. The boy's face flushes as Rumpel reads his words aloud before his curious gaze lands on me. I don't remember you. I look at the boy irritated. Are you the doctor's wife? No. Rumpel suddenly looks up, eyes wide. He looks down at the boy, then at me, his face suddenly solemn. I am surprised by the words that leave his mouth next. Yes, she is. He takes Hello? He takes my hand in his and looks down at me, an almost sad look on his face. What is wrong with him? Pull my hand away? Or slap him? I don't want to slap him. That's rude. Pull my hand away. He has such a strange look on his face. Slowly I try to pull my hand away, but Rumpel holds tightly to it. The sadness in his eyes becomes intense anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? What? Sir? Rumpel squeezes my hand a little too tightly. He looks at me desperately. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me go! Hello? I finally managed to pry my hand free. Rumpel looks at me for a few moments, almost bewildered, and then his eyes suddenly widen. He looks back at the journal, then at me. Oh, I think I blinked out. I'm sorry, Princess. All at once, the sheepish smile breaks into something cheerful again. He is still smiling at me, even though I was so curt with him. Rumpel was so confusing. The boy looks bewildered. Don't worry about that, little sir. This one here is a feisty thing. I deserve whatever she just did. So, she's not your wife, sir. Oh, did I choose wrong? slap him? Is that the choice? Let go of me! Rumpel's eyes crease with worry as he holds tightly to my hand. The sadness in his eyes become anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? Wait, I can skip this? It's as if he is in some kind of trance. The way he looks at me makes my skin crawl. His grip on my hand tightens, making me shudder. Rather than slap his hand away, I reach out with my free hand and slap his face. I stare perplexed at the sudden bafflement on Rumpel's face. Then a slap to the face knock him out of the strange trance. He is being even stranger than normal, and the intensity of the look in his eyes is scaring me. Rumpel stares at me for a few moments, blinking slowly. Oh no, I blinked out. I'm sorry, princess. What just happened to him? The way he was speaking was so strange, almost like he was in some kind of trance. But I know how people are. They lie and they put on faces. I'm sorry for spacing out. If I invaded your space, then I am sorry. You're apologizing. Rumpel puts a hand to his cheek where I slapped him. I think I deserved that. Okay, so I did deserve the slap. I wasn't too sure. I didn't want to slap him. That would be rude. I think I deserved that. Thanks for getting me out of whatever that was. All at once, a sheepish smile breaks into something cheerful again. He's still smiling at me, even though I was so curt to him. Okay. Rumpel looks a little surprised and then he laughs. Unfortunately, no, the beautiful lady here is not my wife. Rumpel absently rubs at the back of his neck as he looks up at the sky. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but it seems like I recovered something very important today, or the beginnings of something important. Something important? Is he talking about a memory? He hands the book back to the boy, then he leans down and sets a hand on the boy's head. A bell chimes behind us as Anise comes out of the store, carrying a bag filled with what I assumed are herbs and medicines. The boy once again cowers behind his book. Oh, who's this? The wonderful little sir that helped me regain a very important memory. An important memory. Rumpel stands there looking triumphant. I, my good lady, am a doctor. Oh, really? Truly. Rumpel turns back to the boy, who he asks a few more questions. He even asks the boy his name, but much to my surprise, the boy shakes his head. I'm sure you told me your name, but I don't remember it. It is like my curse. No one remembers me being a princess, and no one remembers Rumpel's true name. Even if the kid knew his true name, it would be too easy. Rumpel thanks the boy again many times over and even buys him a few pieces of candy. The boy's eyes are practically glowing with excitement, and he does not stop smiling. After we see him off and start to head back to the tavern, I begin to contemplate. I'm curious about something. Oh? You said that you needed to fill your journal with memories in order to get them back, but the journal you just read wasn't yours. It appears not. It seems that the 3 entries that trigger my memories just need to be written by people I know. Reading them triggers a memory, and then the full entry probably appears in my journal. That's kind of cool. I have to check it when I get back. See. But even without looking into the entry, a memory came to your mind. Rumpel gives a short, distracted nod. It's not complete, so I'm hoping that something really has appeared in my journal. It feels like it must, considering I remembered something so important. Do you remember anything else at all? The young man that we just met, I believe that he used to come watch me work before. I knew him. He used to look up to me. He was a sweet child. The memory is foggy, but yes, I believe something did happen to him. He became ill. The details of how I saved him must be in the journal. Even though this does not pertain to my curse, I'm curious what his journal might say. I can't remember fully, but the memory feels sad somehow. He turns to me, eyebrows knit together. It is strange to see him with such a serious expression on his face. I really am sorry about earlier, princess. I think I was on the verge of a memory, but then it got tangled up in my head. I am surprised by a sudden change in topic. I shake my head slowly. He is quiet for a few moments before suddenly he smiles back. His smile comes back and he laughs jovially, telling us that there is no point in worrying. At the town's outskirts, I turn, feeling eyes on my back, but no one is there. The boogeyman. We give Parfait the medicines we purchased in town as soon as we arrive back at the margin. Then Rumpel proudly announces that he is a doctor to anyone that will listen to him. Everyone seems happy for him, save save for the Martian patrons that find Rumpel annoying, are mostly men. Afterwards, Rumpel asks Anise if he might be able to take over the medications for Parfait, if only because Anise is busier than him. Rumpel hasn't been at the Martian long and he's already found something to help break his curse. And then there's me. Damn. And then there's me. But that's where we're gonna end today's episode off. We did do a lot for Rumpels already. It's already chapter 3. Technically, chapter 1 and 2 are common routes anyway, so that doesn't count. But Rumpel has already stolen my heart because his story is quite interesting. We honestly don't know anything about him. But then again, we didn't know much about Karma's route either. So that's the thing. Sorry, I just took, I don't know why I just blinked out right there. But Rumpel's route seems interesting because his entries are in his journal. Unlike Claude's, his was over time with his tattoo on his chest, which is beautiful, by the way. So it's quite interesting. I cannot wait to see Rumpel's route. I'm more excited for Rod's route because he's technically our stepbrother, right? So there can't be a love relationship, right? Right? I'm not too sure. I have no idea. But the ones I'm really excited for is obviously Waltz, right? That's his name. Peter Pan story. Yes, and love, right there. I don't know. I feel like everybody's route is beautiful. I probably can't compare at all. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.